Hey, what's up guys? We are back to our YouTube channel. And for today's video, we are going to look for the most 5 powerful cars for every country. But first, please don't forget to click the notification bell below for more upcoming videos and subscribe to our channel. Let's get it on! A lot of countries build cars, but which one makes the most powerful cars today? We're going to take a look at the most powerful car from every country that has a car company to find out which nation is the best at squeezing the horsey boys at engine. This is MIA Luxury Cars. Let's get started. Let's begin with the lowest ranked horsepower country on this list. Egypt is the only actual Egyptian car company that could find on the internet. It's Edgy Tech Engineering. They make a teeny little electric car called the Maestro, and it makes 15.3 horsepower. So already the bar is set super high strapped in boys and girls because these numbers are only getting bigger. You don't believe me? Let's take a trip to Norway, one of the wealthiest countries on the fat green earth. But somehow their only car as Buddy Electric, and this is their car, the Buddy. Now that's not the cutest freaking name for a car company ever. Sounds like a character in a Toy Story. It's so small that Norwegian law actually lets you park it sideways, and it blows the freaking doors off the Maestro with a whooping 17.4 horse. Tunisia WALLY car Iris. This weird Jeep-looking car is powered by a 1.4-liter U-Goat engine, and it spits out 82 horsepowers. But maybe he wants something a little more exotic. Well, let's jump over to the home. My favorite movie is the Madagascar car to escape to Africa. This country's fastest Madagascar car is the car Mazana 2. And interesting fact that they made Pope mobile version when the Pope came to the town, and I'm sure he was very impressed by the 112 horsepower that this baby makes. We are officially triple digits, baby. I've owned more than 4 cars with less than 100 horsepower. The PINDAD MUANG, this badass little 4 comes by into 2 flavors, military and civilian. And they both come with a turbo diesel engine making 149 Hz per Romania. No, it's not just a place for vampires. Their most powerful cars, the day a duster doesn't eat any garlic in this crossover SUV. That's a joke about the vampires. 150 Hz pers. The Soren ELX Soren, like the bad guy from The Lord of the Rings. You ever heard of? They've been making cars since 1962, and this less than exciting 4-door sedan trumps them all with 155 Hz pers. Brazil PUMA GT LUMINARI. This thing is a throwback to the classic Pumas from the 60s and 70s. The car, not the shit, okay, because of the Chevy motor good for 180 years per 10 years. The most powerful cars, the MOBIUS motors. MOBIUS 3. It was built to traverse the rough roads and rugged terrain found in many parts of the regional infrastructure. And it does with the exactly 213.5 horsepower. Alright, let's hop on over Nigeria. Why not? You'll find a company called Innocent, the Pride of African Road. Their most powerful vehicles, the G80, a copy of a Chinese copy of G-Wagon with a Mitsubishi engine. It makes 247 of her pers. Not bad at all. Let's head over to Austria. Okay, let's pump it up a little bit. Everybody's first real sports car on this list, the KTM Crossbow. Carbon Favor. The racy car is made by a motorcycle company that I thought was from Wisconsin. But it's got 4 wheels and it's street legal. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a car. I'm pretty sure that it's not street legal, but it is sick some candidates anyway because actually it makes the rules. He weighs 1,700 pounds. It doesn't have any doors and it makes 300 meat engine Austrian horses. I am still a Vista baby. Czech Republic also has a carbon fiber race car supercar. The called the Prague R and the R, and it makes 390 hertz purges. Now for a car that I actually recognize, the Hyundai Genesis Gina. From South Korea, a luxury sedan with a 5-liter V8, puff passes, tires with its dude. Up next is an Israeli car called ZIBAR. This company was started by a racer and the fabricator who took what he learned, and the Israeli Special Forces created this military-grade 4x4. Now it can be configured as a civilian vehicle and even a decor race truck. It's powered by an LS3 that makes 30 hertz peppers. This next car comes from Turkey, and no, I'm not going to have a Thanksgiving bird. The Eat Talks Zach. It's a tribute to an old rally car called STC-16. According to their website, you can get it with a bunch of different engines, including one that makes 450 hertz per wear 2 necks. I don't know, what about Vietnam? They're the most powerful cars named after the dumpster. The VINFAST president's sickest name on the list so far. This is a limited edition luxury SUV that cost $164,000. That's a lot of dong. What do you get for that much of money alive with gold trim? Supple interior and a 6.2-liter V8. Most people think it's the LS. Some people think it's the Hellcat Black without a supercharger. Seems like a pretty easy mystery to solve to me. You open it up. Anyway, the mysterious V8 makes 455 Hz per Gobel. Gobel Turkey, Vietnam lead. Next, we have a Malaysian car called Before the Geneva. Before he stands for, and I swear that this is beautiful and unique. Fantastic, original, romantic, irresistible. Yeah, based on a 1930s American coupe and can be fitted with a coffee machine, a Chinese tea set, or even a cigar humidor. Has massaging seats, thermal night, and a vision camera. We're not here for any of that crap. We're here to talk about the buff horses than the Geneva makes 470 fun. Absolutely fantastic first period in Greece. You've got an off-road supercar called the Chorus P4. It's like a NSX. They stuffed a 7-liter LS 7 Corvette engine under the hood. Good for 505 horsepower in South Africa. They got a supercar called the HARPER Type 6. It's got a hand-built tube, chassis, fiberglass body, and a Lexus V8 that lays down 536. Harper's Switzerland Picasso PS1. It's not a video game about art. It's a carbon fiber supercar. It makes $600 power. Try to keep up with the Netherlands Ventures. Draws inspiration from analog race cars of the 1980s. No bells? No, not a single whistle. No driver aids. Just a 6.2-liter BA was 622. Well, Dutch Crunch horses. What's a bike we love? You're seeing what you are throwing on here. Bulgaria Sin. Our one, it's got a supercharged LS, 9 pumping out, 650 herders Pierce. The modelist is getting happy, guys. That means we're safe for now. Next up, we got America of the Southern Hemisphere, Australia. One of my favorite countries in the slash continent. Have you ever heard about the Bravams with all they've been running F1 teams since like the 1960s? So Google it, and it turns out that they don't just make F1 cars. They also make the BT62. This is a super duper car meant for the track, and it's so aerodynamic that it makes over a ton of downforce. Anyway, he cut it. That's impressive, but how much power did it make? 700 man, 700. Now let's take a trip to India, shall we? You might not think that this country as a whole for ultralight electric supercars. Then I guess you've never seen the bizarre Ronnie Automotive Ecom have. Yeah, this single Sedar makes 722 absolutely buzzing buff. It's going to Taiwan? Sure, whatever. What do you get when you pair up an iPhone manufacturer with Pininfarina? You got a Foxconn Model 8. Good luck and not getting sued by Ford with that name. But either way, this phone car makes 750 horsepower from Belgium. We have one of the weirdest cars ever made, the GILETT Vertigo. Vertigo. Why would you name a car a Vertigo? These things have been around since the 90s, but the latest version is the most powerful yet. With an 800 horsepower V6 prolonged to VEGA. EVX, the first electric car for South Asia. Nice, this thing makes 804 horsepower. Now, we're getting to the good stuff. There's a lot of cars that comes to us. I like to call Italy, and their most powerful one currently is the SF90 A2, Fiorano. Though to be exact, yes, that's how they say it. It's named after Ferraris on test truck, and a hybrid power plant gives it a big fat honky 1000 Hz per next. North Korea. Do you not know? North Korea makes cars well. According to Wikipedia, a SUNGRI ZR500 giant dumping truck is powered by a W-shaped 4-cylinder engine, which produces 1000 horsepower and has a top speed when travel an expressive 200 kilometers an hour in Spain. You've got the Hispano SUIZA. CARMEN makes a new electric car inspired by the legendary designs. The 1930s. It had 1100 horsepower in Denmark. You've got the Zenvo TSR. It's like a Linchin Hypersport, which is a fake supercar, but the Zenbo is real. This is great. Den is a street version of a truck version of a street car. That's right, it makes 1,170 horsepower in Ukraine. They got a supercar concept called Humira Q. This sleek puppy apparently makes 1,200 horsepower from an electric engine. It was developed by a businessman in Canada. Yes, Canada. They make cars. You got the HTT Polyform, gotta be a 10-room Viper to make 1,300 horsepower. So not to be outdone, in Canada, China just unveiled the Hong CRES 9 pairs of twin-turbo V8 with electric motors to produce 1,381 horsepower. It's getting crazy. We got a bunch of more countries to live the Mexico step and drop the Inferno exotic car. It's made out of something called a metal phone, claiming 1,400 horsepower. Our next car is from France. You're like, who? Like a French company that makes cars. Bugatti, idiot. This is the Charon Super Sports Car. I don't know, I'm not going to Google it. Now you already know about this ridiculous 16-cylinder machine. We talk about it a lot because it's freaking so sick. It's got 1,580 horsepower in France. They're not just fries anywhere. Sweden Coatings Egg Amera. This insane engine only weighs 150 pounds and doesn't have any campers. It's called a tiny friendly giant because it makes 1,700, but somehow you still got a few countries to go that somehow make cars with more power. Than Sweden, Morocco are one of them. It's a car called the Laraki Epitome, and it's a pity a real car. Got a twin-turbo LA, and French Montana owns the only one in existence. Cool. Probably just a legit as the Korean dump truck. So we're putting it on 1,750 horsepower. Next on the list, you don't have to say United States of America. Hennessy. They turned a lot of fast cars and they made them faster, but they also made their own bespoke vehicle, the Venom F5. This 300 mile per hour yellow ballet makes 1,817 horsepower. I saw one but that isn't even as much as the Pininfarina Battista, which is German. But in Farina, Battista sounds pretty Italian to me. But just like spaghetti and pepperoni, just because it sounds Italian doesn't mean it is Pininfarina. It's actually based in Munich, Germany. Therefore, it's German. Owned by an Indian company, 1,900 horsepower, the Battista, of course, shares a drivetrain with our next car from Croatia. Of course, I'm talking about Rimac Navara, as in Novara going to be out of Ford. One which we all know has 1,914 horsepower. You've seen the rest of these cars before. If you watch our supercar video, I call them, but alright, here's the top 3 on the list from the UK. You've got the Lotus EVG, named after The Hobbit. It's got 1,972 Austin horsepower from Japan. You've got the Spark Owl, a very Orwellian 90 million 4 horse pair before the very last card in this list. We did our best to include every country, but if we missed any. And with that, we reach our final car. The list is from the United Arab Emirates. It's been at the top of the list before the Devil 16. To ease, I've heard your comments. You don't think it's a real car, and you know what? I agree. But even if it makes half as much horsepower as the company claims, it would still be the number 1 car in this list. I mean, that sounds real to me. So number 1, you know it's 5,007 horsepower, because why not? And I promise I'll never talk about this car again at this point. I'm jaded. I'm exhausted. This is pointless. What are we doing? Congrats to you, and thank you guys for watching to this video. And everything else on the hit that subscribe button and hit the bell button to be notified. So don't miss anything when you hit that button. See you on our next video.